The year is today, somewhere deep in the modern Amazon basin, and against every law of science, you are being born. You are a Titanoboa, a species that vanished from Earth roughly 60 million years ago. Extinct animals aren't supposed to give birth. Yet, here you are, a 30-kilogram newborn snake, sliding into a flooded forest where the water sits at 27 degrees Celsius. 5 degrees too cold for your massive body to function properly. Your mother leaves immediately. Snakes don't do childcare. That strategy has worked for over 100 million years, and today is no exception. You are alone, 2 meters of muscle and instinct, in a world that has never seen anything like you. The Amazon doesn't care that you're impossible. It only cares that you're vulnerable. Something moves in the reeds. The water feels heavy against your scales. Your first decision arrives in the first 5 seconds of life. Is that movement food? Or are you food? You make the right choice. You sink lower, disappearing into the murk. The shape reveals itself. A spectacled caiman, exactly your length. In nature, when 2 predators are the same size, the one that strikes first usually eats. You don't strike. You ease backward in a smooth S pattern your body somehow already knows, wedging yourself between submerged roots and rotting logs. The caiman glides past, hunting fish, never knowing how close it came to becoming a headline. This tangle of underwater sticks is now your home, but your blood is cooling fast. As a cold-blooded giant, you don't generate heat. You steal it. At 27 degrees, you're already slowing down. Thoughts growing sluggish, muscles reluctant. If you stay here much longer, you'll become too cold to move. And then something will find you. A sun-baked log floats 2 meters away, heat shimmering off its surface. You push off the roots and swim. Instinct guides every ripple. On the 5th clumsy attempt, you haul your heavy body onto the wood. Warmth floods your scales. Within minutes, your brain clears. You realize you've been operating half-stupid for the last 10 minutes simply because you were cold. You bask motionless for 3 hours, watching the swamp come alive. A capybara approaches the water and barely escapes a caiman's jaws. A heron spears a fish with surgical precision. A massive green anaconda, far larger than you, slips silently through the shallows like liquid shadow. Everything here is either hunter or hunted. There is no middle ground, no safety net, no retirement plan. Hunger arrives, sharp, unfamiliar. You've never eaten. Your body is burning through the last reserves from your mother. Below the log, a 30-centimeter catfish circles, distracted. You slide into the water, wait, and strike. You miss. Completely. The fish vanishes in a blur. You return to the log, embarrassed by how much energy that wasted strike cost. You try again, and again. On the 3rd attempt, 6 hours after birth, your jaws finally clamp down. Backward curving teeth lock in. Your body instinctively coils, squeezing with raw power. 20 seconds later, the fish stops moving. You swallow it head first, jaws unhinging, throat muscles rippling in waves. The meal settles in your stomach and digestion begins immediately. You won't need to eat again for 3 days. Night falls. You wedge back into the roots and sleep for the first time. 3 weeks pass in a blur of growth and near death. You grow almost half an inch a day, hunting fish, frogs, and small caimans. You learn the rules the hard way. A jaguar nearly spots you basking. An adult anaconda passes directly overhead while you hold your breath for 40 minutes. A black caiman comes within 2 meters. You freeze until it leaves. You're now 3 meters long and 60 kilograms. You've graduated from definitely going to die to probably going to die. Progress. You begin targeting young capybaras at dusk. 4 successful kills teach you speed, precision, and the perfect moment to strike. But the 6-meter anaconda that shares your hunting grounds remains a constant shadow. You always hide when it appears. You claim a small oxbow lake, deep enough to hide, rich with fish and naive capybaras. The lake becomes your kingdom. You move like a ghost in the water, surfacing every 30 minutes for air, lying motionless for hours while prey wanders past. Then, one night, an adult capybara, 50 kilograms, steps to the edge. Risky, but you're hungry and growing bolder. You launch from the water, jaws locking around its neck. Your coils tighten relentlessly. 25 minutes later, its heart stops. You've done it. But the smell of blood brings the big anaconda. It circles you while you're still wrapped around your kill. For 90 tense seconds, you stare each other down. You're bigger than before. The anaconda calculates the risk and quietly slips away. You exhale in relief. 2 months later, you're 4 meters long. The Oxbow Lake is undisputedly yours. You've killed every challenger. Hunting has become efficient. You bask by day, ambush by night. At 6 months old and 150 kilograms, you're no longer easy prey. But the Amazon still holds threats. A 4-meter black caiman lurks in the main river. You give it wide berth. 7 meters long now. Hunting feels almost routine. A peccary walks straight into your strike zone without checking. 4 minutes from ambush to death. You swallow while already planning the next meal. You now outweigh most jaguars. One morning, while basking to recover from a cool night, a 90-kilogram male jaguar approaches. You lock eyes. It runs the same threat assessment you do. One clean bite to your skull could end you, but one coil around its chest would crush it. The jaguar wisely turns and leaves. Competition remains in the water. A 5-meter green anaconda has been sharing the shrinking lake. During the dry season, prey grows scarce. One evening, you both strike at the same capybara herd. You both succeed. The anaconda finishes first and swims toward you, challenging for your kill. You refuse to back down. What follows is a slow, brutal, almost hypnotic battle. 2 massive serpents rapping and squeezing in a contest of pure endurance. 40 minutes of crushing pressure. Your superior size and strength finally prevail. The anaconda goes limp. You eat it head first. In nature, there is no loyalty among giants. Food is food. The lake is now completely yours. But the dry season intensifies. Your Oxbow Lake shrinks into a muddy trap. At 10 meters and nearly 600 kilograms, getting stranded means slow death. Under the sun, you make the hard decision, migrate. You crawl 800 meters overland through dense forest, exposed, overheating, sluggish. 4 exhausting hours later, you reach the main river. The deeper, cooler water welcomes you like home. This new territory is richer and more dangerous. The 4-meter black caiman that once ruled here still hunts these waters. You study it for 3 days, its patterns, its blind spots. On the 4th day, you strike from behind, jaws clamping just behind its head. The caiman thrashes violently, jaws snapping terrifyingly close to your skull. 35 minutes of raw, dangerous struggle. Your size and power win. You swallow the armored giant whole, bloating massively. You won't need to eat again for 2 months. You are now 11 meters long and over 700 kilograms. The river begins to reorganize around you. Jaguars avoid your basking spots. Other caimans steer clear of your deep pools. Fish scatter when you surface. You are becoming the apex. At 12.5 meters and 1/100 kilograms, thermoregulation becomes a daily challenge. Your massive body holds heat too well. You must carefully manage when and where you bask to avoid overheating. Smaller anacondas and caimans have quietly relocated. Nothing challenges you anymore. They've all done the math. A 220-kilogram tapir visits the same drinking spot every 3 days at dusk. You study its routine for 2 weeks like a patient assassin. On the 18th day of waiting, you strike from perfect ambush. The fight is violent. A hoof cracks one of your ribs, but your coils are relentless. 8 minutes later, the tapir's heart stops. Swallowing a creature this size takes nearly 6 hours. By sunrise, you are grotesquely distended, scales stretched apart, weighing over 1,300 kilograms. You sink to the river bottom and rest for weeks while digestion does its slow work. 6 weeks later, the tapir is gone. You've grown to 13 meters and 150 kilograms, more than twice the weight of the largest black caiman in the river. You are now the undisputed apex predator of this stretch of the Amazon. The water is yours. The prey is yours. Every animal within 5 kilometers has adjusted its behavior to avoid becoming yours. Somewhere downstream, a group of capybaras drinks peacefully. At the bank, unaware that in 20 minutes their world is about to change. You, a creature extinct for 60 million years, have bent the modern Amazon around your impossible existence. The ecosystem didn't break you, it adapted to you. You sink beneath the dark water and begin gliding toward the capybaras with silent, deadly grace. Nature said you couldn't be here. You're about to prove nature wrong.